Okay, step one is to thoroughly clean your workspace and all your utensils and beakers and sanitize the area with isopropyl alcohol wipes. And just to keep things clean, I like to lay down paper towels. Makes cleanup a little bit easier. And once that's all ready, you want to gather all your ingredients. So first we have ethoxydiglycol, a solvent that'll also help make the serum feel less sticky. Propylene glycol, which is our solvent for the ferulic acid. Glycerin, a humectant and thickener. Our vitamin E, which is a great antioxidant. And ferulic acid, both of which will help stabilize LAA. Laureth 23, which is our emulsifier for this serum. And L-ascorbic acid, the star of the show. And liquid germal plus, our preservative. And citric acid, just in case we need to adjust the pH down. And then a couple of optional ingredients. Green tea extract, in case you want to increase the antioxidant protection of the serum. And tetrasodium EDTA, a chelator that will help bind metal ions. And of course, distilled water. In terms of tools, we'll be using a gram scale, a mini blender, a pH meter, pipettes and other dispensing tools, 3 to 4 beakers, clips for the heating phase, a final receptacle for the serum, and a sous vide stick. If you have questions about heating and holding, I have more info on the blog. I actually have 2 different ways that I heat and hold. Today I'm going to be showing you the water bath method, which is why I have this sous vide stick, but again, more info on the blog. Okay, to start out making the serum, I'm going to put together my heated water phase first. So that's the ferulic acid in propylene glycol with glycerin and water. I'm going to start by placing one of the beakers on the gram scale and pressing tare to return the weight to 0. Then I measure out 0.14 grams of ferulic acid, tare again, and slowly pipette in the propylene glycol. And ferulic acid can be stubborn at first, but if you keep mixing, you should get something like this, just very clear and very pale yellow. Then I'm going to get the glycerin, tare again, and slowly pipette that in, followed by the water. And that's the end of our heated water phase. Unfortunately, at this point, my camera stopped recording without me realizing, so I don't have any footage of measuring the heated oil phase. However, the process is exactly the same. I just pipetted 5.6 grams of ethoxydiglycol into a separate clean beaker, then added 0.84 grams of Laureth 23, and that's it. So now we have our heated water and our heated oil phases, and we're going to be heating and holding these beakers using the sous vide method. So I'm going to grab these beakers as well as some clothespins to clip the beakers to the pot, and my Anova sous vide machine, which is the main heating element. I actually have 2 main methods I like to heat and hold ingredients, but today I'm going to show you the sous vide method. So heading over to the kitchen, I've got a pot of water going at 75 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to clip my beakers into the bath. And I'm going to let this go until the oil and water phases have been heated to 70 degrees Celsius or 158 Fahrenheit and held there for about 20 minutes. Once those have been heated and held, it's time to emulsify. Choose whichever beaker is larger and pour the other beaker's contents in while either whisking quickly or using a mini blender like I am. And it should come together really quickly. If there's any foam, don't worry about it. It settles down really quickly and it's not going to affect the integrity of your serum. And once your emulsion comes together, it's time to add the cool down ingredients. So test for temperature to make sure that it's less than 40 degrees Celsius or 104 Fahrenheit. Perfect. I'm adding green tea extract, which again is totally optional. And next up is the preservative, which is totally non-optional. I'm using liquid germal plus, which is a really good broad spectrum preservative, super easy to use. And I like to use syringes to add sticky ingredients like vitamin E. I find it's more precise and easier to clean up. And finally, I'm adding tetrasodium EDTA because I've included a botanical extract and I want to make sure I scavenge any free metal ions that might interact with the vitamin C. I'm going to mix that up really quickly and then move on to the star of the show, the vitamin C. I like to add it last just to minimize the amount of time it gets exposed to light and air. I also like to pre-measure it in a different container so I can make sure to get an exact 15% concentration. The advantage of this is that if you mess it up like I do here, you can always dump a little bit back in and then remeasure it. Finally, I add all the LAA powder into the serum and mix until it's fully dissolved. And the last step is to test for pH. We're looking for a number between 2.5 and 3.5, so 3.2 is perfect. And that's it. Just pour it into your serum bottle of choice. I always choose dark tinted glass bottles to keep the light out, and I prefer pumps over dropper bottles to help keep the air out, but I've used both with good results. Make sure to label your serum with the date you made it, and congratulate yourself.